Hello.
Hi, how are
What
you?
up? Oh, just working from home
Same.
amidst this corona situation.
It's very interesting.
It really is. Shout out to any of y'all that are working from home too in the next indefinite future.
Hopefully, most everyone is so that we can prevent the spread of this.
Yeah, stay the fuck home.
Yeah.
Or,
Please.
whatever the hashtag is.
And listen to Hot for Justice podcast.
Yes.
This is Jessica.
And this is Jamie.
Thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you. Apologize that this episode's going up late this week. I was almost stuck in Reno for 3 days. I guess I'll tell that story.
Yeah, so what? This has been such a year this week.
Yeah, what a year this week has been.
Honestly,
and it's only Wednesday?
It's only Wednesday. We are hit with a pandemic. We all have to work from home.
Mm-hmm.
It snowed. It's been raining, and it basically was summer, before this, and now it's not at all.
Literally last week it was so nice, and then we leave on Friday, or we're getting ready to leave on Thursday for a bachelorette party for my friend Victoria. And on Thursday, we're like, oh shit, it might snow. So she luckily bought some chains for her tires.
Good.
And we're like, okay, luckily, maybe we won't have to use them, cross our fingers. We get on the road at 11 a.m. on Sunday to come home, and we get turned around. They're like, oh, the roads are closed. There's an avalanche warning, and there's zero visibility. And we're like, are you sure? Is it that bad? Are you sure we can't drive? Are you positive? Can we try?
What percentage are you?
Right. And
are you feeling?
Yeah, it might be cleared up by Tuesday, they said.
Oh, no.
And we were like, I'm sorry, you said what now? Tuesday? And they're like, yeah, it might be like this for the next 3 days.
Oh, my gosh.
And so, luckily, my dad had comped rooms at a hotel up there. So he was able to get us a free reservation. And Victoria's mom, was like, oh, I'll pay for your guys' food and stuff because you guys weren't intending to stay for 5 days.
Yeah.
And then we went to the casino and gambled for a bit, checked back into the hotel. The same hotel we had just checked out of an hour beforehand. So these people probably thought we were nuts.
Yeah.
And we go gamble, I drink a beer, and then we're constantly checking the weather. It stopped snowing. And then we're like, oh shit, the roads are open. Ooh. And this is at 5 o'clock. And we're like, okay, we pack all of our shit back up. We don't tell the hotel we're leaving. We fucking
just
leave.
In case, yeah.
Yeah. And then we didn't end up getting home until 12:30 in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
And that included a 30-minute stop at In-N-Out, which is neither here nor there.
Yeah, that's necessary after that though.
Right. But literally that was one of the last things we did.
Oh my gosh.
On our way home. We stopped there at 9 or 9:30.
Yikes.
It took us that long to get over the mountains. And normally, for reference, to get from where I live to Reno is 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
It took us, if we're counting from when we first tried to leave.
Yeah.
Over 12 hours.
Time.
But if we're counting from when we left until we got home, it was 6.5, 7 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, so we were planning on recording Sunday to get our episode up on Monday, but that didn't happen. And it's just been a weird week.
Yeah, and then I get a call on Monday from my boss at noon when she woke me up at noon. And oops. And she's like, hey, just so you know, the office is going to be closed effective tonight. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? So I had to go to my office in sweatpants and collect the bare bones essentials that I needed.
Yeah.
Send myself an email with all my passwords to everything. And then go to the store and pick up my quarantine haul.
Well, now, so you live in one of the counties that is in shelter in place.
Yes.
I do not.
You do not.
But we are still practicing that right now. Anyways, to be safe.
It's all voluntary for you guys.
Yes.
And for us, it's mandated.
Yeah. So my mom is immunocompromised, so I really just have her in mind.
Well,
I haven't
same.
seen her, but it's
if I could go back in time, I probably wouldn't have gone to Reno.
Yeah.
Knowing what I know now.
Well, this situation has evolved so rapidly. My campus was open. We, as of like Monday, I normally work from home Mondays. So Monday, you know, they're like, we're operating as normal. You can work from home if you want to. It's up to you. And so after some like deliberation, I was like, you know, I'm going to request work from home for like 4 days a week and go in 1 day a week.
Right.
Well, then yesterday, you know, things just are starting to change. So I was like, I'm not going in tomorrow. I have no meetings. I'm just not going to go in. And then we get notification today that campus is closing effective like immediately.
Wild.
We all need to, you know, unless you're like an essential person on campus, then like you need to work from home. So thankfully we have, you know, we have that opportunity to do that where a lot of people don't, and they're facing a really serious financial crisis right now.
1,000,000%. Like my office, like we normally would never be allowed to work from home. Like this is like a true emergent situation just because we are like in healthcare, and if we weren't in these shelter-in-place counties, like we would still be in the office as we were last week. Yeah. And even through Monday. So all this is very wild, and if you're going through it right now, we're so sorry and we feel you.
Yeah. We're all just doing our best trying to cope, be here for each other, but yeah, this is hard, very unprecedented. Like I was asking my mom, has this ever happened before, like in your lifetime? You know, because there's been other like epidemics of like SARS and stuff, but she was like, no, not on this level. And
no, I mean,
that's
like,
scary.
Yeah, none of these other, you know, like pandemics and shit that like in our lifetime even like we're anywhere close to like being this crazy.
No. So, but the good thing is, you know, we're trying to keep it we're trying to keep it low, flatten the curve. Yeah. People take it seriously. Like, I went on a walk with my dogs, and I saw these 2 teenagers out making TikToks. Like, come on, practice some social distancing. You can manage it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long we need to, so that people don't freaking die.
Yeah, and, like, that's the unfortunate thing is, like, all these, like, you know, kids and stuff, like, don't get it.
No, they don't get it.
Because no, it is what it is, but
it's... Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah. Anyways.
Kids. Anyways, yes. Anyways.
Also, real quick PSA. If you are currently struggling with anything, you can reach out to, depending on your situation, you can apply for state disability. If you're out of job or if your hours are reduced, you can apply for state disability depending on where you live. If you have a family member that is stuck at home, like if your kids are out of school, you can apply for paid family leave through the government. Yep. Or if you're taking care of a sick relative, or you yourself have the coronavirus or anything like that, you can get disability or family leave for that.
Yep. I mean, and I think this is through the state of California, right?
Actually, FEMLA is federal.
Okay. Oh, great. Yeah. So, just so you know, people. Mm-hmm. And you know, if you need,
and I think most states are doing the disability thing.
Yeah, I would imagine they are.
Yeah, I know California is. I know most of our listenership's in California, so that should apply to you. But if you're in another state, look at your local state government and what they're doing.
Yeah, they should.
And yeah.
So with that being said, you are up first today.
Okie dokie. So this is a case that I've been like toying if I want to do it or not do it because it's like really fucking sad. And it's like kind of a lot, but
bummer.
I think it's a huge bummer, but it's like super interesting. There's a lot of like theories about it.
Okay.
You may or may not have heard of this, and I know like some TV shows like CSI has done like a spin on it, and like other shows have done spins on it. The Boy in the Box.
I have not.
Okay. So I'm getting this from Wikipedia. I also read some other articles and stuff about it. But I'm just going to read from Wikipedia just because it's what I do, and I don't, you know, I don't know how to properly write anything because I'm not a good adult. I barely passed college, okay? We're just living our best lives.
We try.
So The Boy in the Box is a name given to an unidentified murder victim, a 4 to 5-year-old boy. Also, that's been kind of speculated too. I've seen a lot of different age ranges from like 3 to 7, but like kind of 4 to 5 is the most generally agreed upon age range.
Okay.
But like some people say he could have been as young as 3 or as old as 7, but it's hard to tell based on the remains.
That's still really sad.
Yeah. A 4 to 5-year-old boy whose naked, battered body was found in a bassinet box in the Fox Chase section of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on February 25th of 1957. He's also commonly called America's Unknown Child. His identity has never been discovered, and the case remains open.
Wow.
In February of 1957, a boy's body wrapped in a plaid blanket was found in the woods off of Susquehanna. I might have fucked that up. I probably fucked that up.
It's fine.
But it's okay.
It's fine.
Remember the time it was fine?
It's all fine.
Still fine. Off of Susquehanna Road in Fox Chase, Philadelphia. The naked body was found inside of a cardboard box, which had once contained a bassinet sold by JCPenney's. The boy's hair had been recently cropped, possibly after death, as clumps of hair had clung to the body. There were signs of severe malnourishment, as well as surgical scars on the ankle and groin area, and an L-shaped scar under his chin. The body was first discovered by a young man who was checking his muskrat traps. Fearing that the police would confiscate his traps, he did not report what he had found. A few days later, a college student spotted a rabbit running into the underbrush. Knowing that there were animal traps in the area, he stopped his car to investigate and discovered the body. He, too, was reluctant to have any contact with the police, but he did report what he had found the following day.
Wow.
The police received the report and opened an investigation on February 26th of 1957. The dead boy's fingerprints were taken, and the police were first optimistic that he would soon be identified. However, nobody ever came forward with any useful information. The case attracted massive media attention in the Philadelphia and Delaware Valley. The Philadelphia Inquirer printed 400,000 flyers depicting the boy's likeness. Right? Isn't that, like, hella?
Yeah.
Especially for the 50s.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a huge reach.
Yeah.
Which were sent out and posted across the area and were included in every gas bill in Philadelphia. The crime scene was combed over and over again by 270 police academy recruits who discovered a man's blue corduroy cap, a child's scarf, and a man's white handkerchief with the letter G in the corner. All clues that led nowhere. The police also distributed a post-mortem photograph of the boy fully dressed in a seated position, as he may have looked like in life, in hopes that it may lead to a clue. Also, no thank you. I would not like to see that.
No, poor baby.
I know. Despite the publicity and sporadic interest throughout the years, the boy's identity is still unknown. Their case remains unsolved to this day. In March 21st of 2016, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children released a forensic facial reconstruction of the victim and added him into their database. In August of 2018, Barbara Ray Venter, the genetic genealogist that helped identify the Golden State Killer, using a DNA profiling technique, said that she was using the same method to try to identify the boy in the box. Amateur groups that use online databases such as the Doe Network and Web Sleuths have also tried to solve his identity. So now here's the theories.
Okay.
And this is like bonkers.
Okay.
So many tips and theories have been advanced in the case. Although most of these have been dismissed, two theories have generated considerable interest among the police and media. They've each been extensively investigated. So first is the foster home. This theory concerns a foster home that was located about 1.5 miles from the site of the body. In 1960, Remington Bristow, an employee of the medical examiner's office who doggedly pursued the case until his death in 1993, contacted a New Jersey psychic who told him to look for a house that matched the foster home. When the psychic was brought to the Philadelphia Discovery site, she led Bristow directly to the foster home. Upon attending an estate sale at the foster home, Bristow discovered a bassinet similar to the one sold at JCPenney's. He also discovered blankets hanging on the clothesline that were similar to the one that his body has been wrapped in. Bristow believed that the boy belonged to the stepdaughter of the man who ran the foster home, and that they disposed of his body so the stepdaughter would not be exposed as an unwed mother. He theorized that the boy's death had probably been an accident. Despite the circumstantial evidence, the police were not able to find many definite links between the boy in the box and the foster family. In 1998, a Philadelphia police lieutenant, Tom Augustine, who was in charge of the investigation, let him and several members of the Vidocq Society, a group of retired policemen and profilers, interviewed the foster father and stepdaughter, whom he had married.
Oh,
not
gross.
Weird at all. And then the investigation was closed. So none of that's weird at all.
Right.
Not one bit.
Okay.
The other popular theory is a woman known as M or Martha. Another theory that was brought forward in February of 2002 by a woman identified only as Martha. Police just considered her story to be plausible, but were troubled by her testimony, as she had a history of mental illness. M claims that her abusive mother had purchased the unknown boy, whose name she claimed was Jonathan, from his birth parents in the summer of 1954. Subsequently, the boy was subjected to extreme physical and sexual abuse for 2.5 years. One evening at dinner, the boy vomited up his meal of baked beans and was given a severe beating, where his head was slammed against the floor until he was semi-conscious. He was given a bath, during which he died. These details matched information known only to the police, as the coroner found that the boy's stomach had contained remains of baked beans and that his fingers were water-wrinkled.
Wow.
M's mother cut the boy's distinctive long hair, accounting for the unprofessional haircut which police noted in their investigation, in an effort to conceal his identity. M's mother forced her to assist her in dumping the boy's body in the Fox Chase area. She said that as they were preparing to remove the boy's body from the trunk of a car, a passing male motorist pulled alongside to inquire whether they needed help. M was ordered to stand in front of the car's license plate to shield it from view, while the mother convinced the would-be Good Samaritan that there was no problem. The man eventually drove off. The story corroborated the confidential testimony given by a male witness in 1957, who said that the body had been placed in a box previously discarded at the scene. In spite of the outward plausibility of M's confession, police were unable to verify her story. A neighbor who had access to her house during the stated time period denied that there had ever been a young boy living there and dismissed her claims as ridiculous.
How'd you... Okay.
I know. Isn't that insane?
How would she know all of that, though? Like, did they release any of that information? I mean, you know, sometimes they say they don't, but they did on accident or whatever, and people pick up on it.
Yeah, and it's also possible that, like, she was crazy and, like, things happened to fit.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think that's my favorite theory.
That's interesting. And so sad. It just, like, really hurts my heart that people can do that to children.
Right, because, like, that time frame would put him at, like, I think, like, 4 or 5. Like 4.5, 5 when this happened, if that theory is true.
Yeah.
Or her story is true. But, and I don't know, I kind of buy it, to be 100% honest.
Yeah. But,
like,
yeah, what
it would make sense for the scarring and, like, other things, like, he was malnourished, like, he was abused, like, that makes sense. It makes more sense than the foster family story, to me.
Yes. But also that theory is plausible because...
Right.
People had a thing about women having babies.
Right. And also, like, the stepdad married the stepdaughter and the whole thing's funky and...
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't know. There are some other theories. One is forensic artist Frank Bender developed a theory that the victim might have been raised as a girl. The child's unprofessional haircut, which appeared to have been performed in haste, was the basis for the scenario, as well as the appearance of eyebrows having been styled. In 2008, Bender released a sketch of the unidentified child with long hair, reflecting the strands found on the body. Also in 2016, 2 writers, one from LA, Jim Hoffman, and the other from New Jersey, Louis Romano, explained that they believed that they had discovered a potential identity from Memphis, Tennessee, and requested that DNA be compared between the family members and the child. The lead was originally discovered by a Philadelphia man who introduced Romano and Hoffman to each other, and was developed and presented, with the help of the men, to the Philadelphia Police Department and the Vidocq Society in early 2013. In December of 2013, Romano became aware of the lead and had agreed to help the man from Philadelphia and Hoffman to obtain DNA from the particular family member in 2014, which was quickly sent to Philadelphia Police Department. Local authorities confirmed that they would investigate the lead, but said that they would need to do more research on the circumstances surrounding the link to Memphis, Tennessee, before comparing the DNA. I don't know why they would wait to do that. It just seems dumb. But in December of 2017, Homicide Sergeant Bob Kohlmeyer, sure, confirmed that the DNA taken from the Memphis man was compared to the Fox Chase boy, and there was no connection. The boy in the box was originally held in a potter's field, buried in a potter's field. Jesus Christ, I can't read. In 1998, his body was exhumed for the purpose of extracting DNA, which was obtained from an enamel on a tooth. He was reburied at the Ivy Hill Cemetery in Cedarbrook, Philadelphia, which donated a large plot to him. The coffin, headstone, and funeral service were donated by the son of a man who had buried the boy in 1957. That's really sweet.
Yeah.
There was a significant public attendance and media coverage at the reburial. The grave has a large headstone bearing the words, America's Unknown Child. City residents keep the grave decorated with flowers and stuffed animals.
Poor baby.
So, in pop culture, the show America's Most Wanted in October of 1998 and July of 2008 profiled the case. The show's Cold Case, CSI, and Law & Order SVU have all featured fictionalized episodes drawn from the Boy in the Box case. And NBC 10 Philadelphia aired an investigative piece on March 2nd of 2016 on the case as well, if you wanted to try to find any episodes or things about it.
That's so sad.
I know. So that is... I know. So that's the Boy in the Box.
Poor baby.
There was pictures and stuff of the, like, reconstruction that the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children did, the, like, original photos, which are really gruesome. I'll probably post those, like, last in the
Okay. Yeah, just
weekly
trigger
thing.
warning so people know.
Yeah, because the reconstruction isn't as gross.
Right.
Or gruesome or, funky.
Okay.
And then, there's, like, photos of the crime scene and stuff, too. I'll include that, too.
People suck.
People do suck.
Though, I bet, what are the odds that someone is obviously related to this kid?
Right. Like, how have they not found somebody?
The lady who is doing the genetic genealogy, I bet you will be able to find something.
I think so, too. When I saw that she was, like, involved, I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like, good for her.
Because there's, like, there's gotta be someone. But also, this lends a good point. If you have gotten your DNA done and you have not uploaded it to GEDmatch, please do so. Because, police can't access it from Ancestry or 23andMe. They can access it if you opt in on GEDmatch. So go do that.
So, that's something that I definitely want to do, this year.
I just got mine done, so I, plan to upload it. Like, I just got my results the other day.
Nice. What are you, if you don't mind sharing?
I'm white AF.
Surprise!
I expected pretty much all my results, but I'm like, British, Irish, I have some, like, Croatian, and then, Native American.
That's nifty.
Yeah.
My dad did one a couple years ago, so that's, like, one of the reasons I've been, like, kind of, like, tiptoeing around doing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm, like, I already have half of it known. But I'd be interested in doing the 23andMe one, because he did an Ancestry one, which, like, they're not as in-depth.
Yeah.
Because the 23andMe, like, I'd be interested in, like, the health stuff, personally.
Yeah. I didn't do the health. I got it for a gift for my birthday, but, it is more detailed because my mom did the Ancestry one.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of had a pretty good idea, but
This is not sponsored, by the way.
Right, no. But yeah, so she said that mine was more detailed than what she got back.
Interesting.
But, also, as time goes on, they get more advanced in the testing they can do, so.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
If you have the means, get your shit tested.
And upload it onto GEDmatch.
Yeah.
And opt in so that police can use it. Okay, that's my PSA for the day.
One of many.
My case is pretty short because there's not a ton of info. It is also an old one.
Ooh. We didn't plan this.
No, we didn't. So I am inspired by the documentary that came out called The Most Dangerous Animal of All, which is about a man who believes his biological father was the Zodiac Killer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I found this case and I was like, okay. It is about the murder of Ray Davis. He was a 29-year-old taxi driver in Oceanside, California, which for anyone who is unsure of that, it is in Southern California, I think near Camp Pendleton, which is a San Diego area.
I think it's closer to San Diego than, like, LA.
Way down there. So, April 10th, 1962, Ray radioed his cab dispatcher that he was going to take a fare to South Oceanside around 11:10 p.m. The next day, his body was found dumped in an alley near some of Oceanside's most influential, like, people. They're near their homes. So like the mayor,
the bougie rich people.
Yeah, the bougie people. He had been shot once in the back of the head through the driver's. Oh no, shot once in the back through the driver's seat, and then once in the head. So they could tell like he had material from the seat or whatever.
Okay.
That's how they knew he got shot.
Like it was lodged in him.
Yeah.
I didn't like saying that. That was gross. I'm sorry.
But yes. And so basically the assumption was that he was killed by his last passenger. The motive didn't appear to be robbery because I don't think anything was really missing. So investigators believed that he was murdered for sport, which it becomes evident later because the previous day, a caller had phoned the police with a threat. They said, "I'm going to pull something here in Oceanside and you will never be able to figure it out." The call was reported publicly a few days later, like after Ray had been murdered.
I didn't like that one bit.
No. So there was a second phone call later on. According to the police, the caller said, "Do you remember me calling last week and telling you that I was going to pull a real baffling crime? I killed the cab driver and I'm going to get me a bus driver next."
What the fuck?
Yeah. So
is he just going after like all sorts of like vehicle drivers?
I don't know, because I don't think that there was anything else that happened. At least that's not reported in the article that I was reading.
That's bonkers.
So Christy Hawthorne, a historian, she began examining this shooting. She basically looked at the shooting and the phone calls. Mm-hmm. She noticed a lot of similarities between this and possibly one of the most infamous unsolved serial killers in the United States, aka the Zodiac Killer.
I was really wondering how this looped into this TV show you wanted me to watch, so I'm glad that this all circled back.
It does, yes. So they posed the question, maybe he started his reign of terror in Oceanside before going up to the Bay Area.
Well, and like he liked to like alert the media and like the police that he was doing shit.
Yeah, and then maybe like eventually he evolved into like, you know, having all of the cryptology or like the signs and the letters and anyways.
Right.
So,
this makes me want to watch that Jake Gyllenhaal movie really bad.
Oh god, that movie is so long. It's on Netflix.
I know it is. I actually almost turned it on today while I was working from home. And then I chose to watch like 3 other movies instead.
I watched it over summer.
I've seen it like a million years ago.
Yeah, it's just so slow.
I want to say I saw it like either when it first came out or like not that long after it came out, because I want to say it came out in like the mid 2000s. I'm gonna Google it because I need to know now.
Yeah, Google it.
Like my heart is telling me like 2005 to 2010.
Yeah, I remember watching it my senior year of high school for the first time.
It came out in 2007. See, I was like literally exactly right.
Yeah, it has Mark Ruffalo in it too.
It does have Mark Buffalo in it.
Mark
Buffalo. I almost bought a shirt one time that had like his face superimposed over a buffalo.
That's really great. You should have bought it.
I know, but it was like it was one of those like campaign things that was like they donated it to like a thing, and I like just missed it. Rip.
Okay. Yeah. So
sorry, I digress.
It's okay. Christy, the historian, took all of her findings to Oceanside Police Department. They submitted the ballistics and fingerprint evidence for reanalysis. However, the crime lab determined that they could not test any the ballistics any further, probably because the evidence is old, and there's been no update as to the fingerprint evidence as to whether it matched anything or whatever. Ray had been killed with a .22 caliber gun with long rifle ammunition. It is the same type of gun and ammunition that was used in the first confirmed Zodiac killer case that had happened less than 7 years later. So,
but, I mean, I feel like a .22 is a pretty common gun.
Probably, yeah.
So I feel like that's probably semi-circumstantial.
Used with long rifle ammo. I mean, the whole thing is very circumstantial. I mean, it is similar in that he killed a cab driver, but also it's kind of interesting because for those of you who aren't super familiar with Zodiac, like he also killed a cab driver in San Francisco, but he did that after he had been killing couples. And so he like went on the spree of like killing couples on lovers lanes and yada yada,
like Berryessa.
And like being super creepy. And then he killed the taxi driver, and that was kind of like towards the end of when his spree
was, like, active.
And
like didn't he either like call the cops from a payphone like right before or right after?
I can't remember, but he did taunt the police a lot, which I mean, is similar in this case, but also like in this case, he killed the driver, and it said he dumped him in an alley. I don't know where his car was. In the Bay Area, when he killed people, he killed them and then left them, and like he killed the taxi driver and then left like him in the car. So I don't really know. I mean, who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Zodiac web sleuths are very interested in this. You never know, but you could be reaching. I got this information from an ABC 10 article by Derek Stahl, which of course we will link. So I don't know how I feel about it. It has some similarities for sure, but who really knows?
Right. I mean, the guy that did it.
Right. But also that was like a long time ago, so
like 50 years ago almost?
58 years almost. So
yeah, see, you math that better than I did.
Well, yes. Almost. Yeah, 58.
Woo, math.
I'm getting kind of okay at it.
It's all the working from home.
It is my brain exercising it. But yeah, so that's mine. And it does tie into that documentary because that's about Zodiac Killer. It doesn't like super duper go into the Zodiac Killer's crimes, but it's interesting. I suggest you watch it because we will be recapping that
I think next week.
Yes.
Yeah. I had to think about what week this was and versus when our next recap was going up. But yeah, next week.
That is the plan, barring any issues, which, it's a weird time, so...
Things are very weird right now. If you have the means to watch this during your potential quarantine right now, watch it, and we'll talk about it.
It's on Hulu. Also, Instagram, for some reason, has not been working for us, which is why we have not posted on our Instagram, but on our Facebook. So we don't know why we can't post. So we will try to, add the pictures to our story tonight or tomorrow morning, but...
we're going to do our best.
Yeah, if not, then it will be on our Facebook. We'll hopefully be able to get Instagram fixed. I don't know why. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for her.
Right, because usually it's just her that it doesn't work for, and it works for me.
Yeah. And that is Jamie talking if you cannot tell our voices apart.
And if you can't, then, either this is your first time listening.
Right, and go back and listen to all our other... Go back and listen to our other episodes.
Yeah, there's good shit in there. And if you're quarantined and bored, go listen to the backlog.
You're working from home, put our podcast on.
Yeah, because sometimes I'll listen to an old podcast or watch a movie or a TV show I've watched 100 times and I'm trying to work because I don't have to really pay attention.
Right, but you kind of want to pay attention. You need something going.
Right.
So
what better than our voices?
I agree.
Or, if you're all caught up here, shameless self-promo, you can also listen to Muggle Problems, which is my other podcast, or Weekend Plans, which is my husband's podcast.
There we go. Boom, boom. Yeah. Knocked it out.
Exactly.
You're welcome. We solved your work from home part of your problem.
There's endless hours of content between all of our podcasts.
Very true.
So what's something fun and fresh that you'd like to share that's been positive in your life this last week or so?
Oh, yikes.
I can go first.
Yeah, go ahead. Let me think about it.
Okay, great. So while my trip to Reno was probably not quarantine friendly, and by probably I mean definitely not. And again, hindsight is 20/20. Had I known the escalations this was going to take, probably wouldn't have gone. But I already paid for my trip, so there's also that. And I'm a broke bitch, so You know, I'm not out here trying to lose a couple $100.
I feel you. I feel you.
Even though I did give money to that casino. Rip. But I did steal their toilet paper. So, jokes on them.
Good for you. I'm about to run out.
Yeah, well, luckily, like 2 weeks before all this shit went down, no pun intended, I bought a case at Costco, but just one because I'm not an asshole.
Yeah,
and if you're an asshole that bought more than one thing of toilet paper that you don't need, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you're an asshole.
Sorry, that's all I have to say about that.
Like people hoarding diapers and formula, you're rude. If you would just stop, if everybody would just stop, there wouldn't be a freaking problem. Anyways.
Yes.
If you're hoarding anything, hoard. Don't hoard, people.
Fuck off.
You don't need to hoard things.
No. Just enough for you and your family for like 2 weeks.
Unless you're like one of those people who do have an immune problem and you don't want to be out in public, that's the only acceptable time it is to buy extra. Okay?
Right. Okay. And even then, you don't need 8 pallets of toilet paper.
Right. Oh my God. I can't.
Anyways, neither here nor there. Reno was a great fun time. I had a blast.
I'm glad.
Love you, Victoria. Love you, Kimberly. And Ashley. Y'all were great. That was a great time. I've watched so many movies over the last 48 hours.
Oh my God, I
know. Let's see. Yesterday, what did I watch yesterday?
You watched The Lost Girls.
I watched that today, yeah, The Lost Girls. This morning I watched a Tyler Perry movie called A Fall from Grace. That was really fucking good. That was on Netflix. That's like a thriller movie. I thought he mostly did comedies.
Yeah, me too.
The movie's fucking awesome. I definitely recommend it. I don't think it's based on anything true, but it's like about a murder trial.
Oh, okay.
It's very interesting. I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend it.
Okay.
It's only like an hour and a half or 2 hours. And then I also started Midsummer today. That one's pretty good. It's spoopy if you're into that. I haven't finished it, so I can't like give it a great like finish recommendation, but I did watch that. Oh, I have a list of I started a list this year of movies I've watched because like I always joke that I've like never watched movies.
Smart.
I also watched yesterday I watched A Marriage Story on Netflix with Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. That was really good. I also watched a documentary on voyeurism.
Interesting.
It's called Voyeur on Netflix.
Okay.
It honestly will piss you off.
Okay.
We could talk about it on here if you want to.
Okay.
Because it is
not today.
It is a true story.
I'm in a bad headspace today, but maybe I'm gonna go when I get off this. Watch some Love Is Blind because it's so terrible. But it'll take.
I just finished that yesterday too. That was the other thing I watched. I watched the finale and reunion. If you haven't watched Love Is Blind on Netflix, it is truly hot garbage.
It is
hot. It's so good. It's addicting. Like honestly, like after watching it, I might have said this last week. I get why people watch The Bachelor. And I told you this.
Please watch Bachelor because I still think The Bachelor's better, personally.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
I will
watch it.
This upcoming season. I will watch with you,
No,
and
well,
we can talk about it.
So go back and watch Peter's season because it's on Hulu, and then
I heard he sucks though.
He does, but like it's still good. Like it's still entertaining.
Okay, I'll see if I can binge it while we're still on hiatus from work.
Okay. Fun and fresh things. I don't really got a lot.
Other than Love Is Blind?
Yeah, I've been taking walks just to get out of the house with my pups. They're very happy about it. Get the baby some fresh air. Express is having a 40% off sale, and I got a sweater I've been wanting. Other than that.
Oh, is that the one you guys sent us a picture of?
I did.
Good. I'm glad
I thought about it
because it's very cute.
The next day it was not on sale, and then I'm like, well, they'll probably do a sale for St. Patrick's Day, so I'll just see. And then they did. Well, I think it's more like, please shop because we're closing all our stores, and so I got it 40% off.
You know, that actually happened to us this weekend too, because like we were in Reno and we happened to drive by a Nordstrom Rack, and we're like, let's just pop in there.
Yeah.
And they were doing 10% off all weekend for customer appreciation, but I think it was because they're like, nobody's fucking shopping right now.
Yeah, nobody wants to
go out. Bitch, I got a Free People top and some Paige jeans for $50 total.
It looked so cute on you too, so those were good finds. For those of you who don't know, we have a group chat between Jamie, Audrey, and I where we send each other clothes that we want to buy.
Yeah, and decide if it's worth it or not.
And or we try on things and we elicit some honest feedback. You don't, friends who can give you some honest feedback are hard to come by.
100%, because like that romper I tried on, you guys were like,
not everything is gonna look good on you. So like you need friends who are gonna tell you like, no, return that, honey. Return it.
Like that's not flattering. No. That makes your ass look weird, or like whatever.
Like we know you're hot, but that doesn't look good on you. So if you don't have friends like that, y'all, I hope that you can find some, because it's you need some in your life.
And if you don't have that person in your life, send us a DM.
Yeah,
we will either validate your outfit or tell you that it sucks.
Yes, I'm here for it.
Yeah, our DMs are open. Hit us up.
Open. Anyways, so I think that's all we have for today.
Yes,
we will be back Monday with a regular, and then Wednesday with a screen recap
of that The Most Dangerous Man of All.
Yes.
I wrote it down so I didn't forget.
You guys, please stay inside unless you really have to go outside. Yes. You may not be afraid of getting sick yourself, but the more people you have in contact with, the more likely even if you don't get sick, you can carry it and give it to somebody who is immune compromised or older. Yes. And just don't be an asshole. Please.
Don't be an asshole. Coming from someone that has, 1, autoimmune disease, and 2, takes medication that is immunosuppressant. Yeah. 1, I should not be going out in public anyways. But 2, don't get me sick, or I will find you and I know how to dispose of a body.
Exactly. You just don't ever know by looking at somebody. No. And, so just, I get you might not be afraid for you, but think of other people. Please.
Right. Think of the babies. Yeah. Think of the old people. Think of the people you never would thought would get sick, but they might anyways.
Right. So, again.
Anyways, on that
note, listen to our podcast. Thank you.
Share it with a friend.
Yes.
And that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Goodbye.